Welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt Vega. The big man is gone. He's going to Vegas with the family. So today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm kind of creating my own little segment here called OpenMatt. Because yeah, I like talking sports and sports is my thing and that's what this channel is all about. But sometimes I like to talk about other stuff. So I figured maybe this kind of segment could be me talking to other people, getting to know them a little bit. And my first guest is probably my favorite person in the whole planet, maybe besides our little one. But yeah, I'll give her a slight edge. My wife, Corinne. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Nervous?
No, but I do feel a little silly.
So, now when we first met, let's talk about how we first met, okay? It's been about 10 years. I still look fantastic. You look even better.
I don't know about that.
Was a blind date. Okay. And what happened was, so my cousin, member of the Sports Trolls, he said, hey, his girlfriend at the time said, hey, I know a girl. We want to hook up with them? Well, your boy out here was doing some shady stuff at the time. I wasn't ready to date any girls because I was a little bit of a pig, could you say?
Yeah. Just a little.
So anyways, I decided when I was ready, I was like, hey, I'm ready to meet this girl that you guys were telling me about. Well, come to find out, this was this girl. We ended up having a wonderful blind date at Saboba Casino, romance to the nines, and she was in love at first sight, right?
I don't know about that. I have a little different story.
What is that?
Well, like you said, it was a blind date, but this guy used to look like Ronnie from the Jersey Shore. So when our friend that we had in common showed me a picture of him, I was a little hesitant because his profile picture was him in a spaghetti strap wife beater shirt.
Oh, it was not a spaghetti
and he
strap.
clearly had a tanning salon membership.
100%.
So I was a little hesitant, not gonna lie. And somehow, someone from up above said, give this guy a chance.
I'm a smooth talker. And after date one, she knew she wanted to marry me. I was like, listen, lady, let's slow down.
Oh, wow.
Just a little bit. So yeah, and then it's been love at first sight. And she hasn't left me alone since, so now we're...
And then he takes me to Saboba Casino.
Well, that wasn't me, though.
And, you guys, horrible first date, or first meeting, let's just say that. Because he takes me to Saboba Casino in Ghetto Hemet. And then when I arrive there, his cousin tries to pretend that it's him, thinking I don't know what he looks like. So I'm walking in, and he's pretending to be him, and he's just sitting on the couch with his jaw wide open. So awkward. It was the most awkward thing ever. And then in Saboba Casino, you couldn't hear what anyone was saying because it was like a club or something.
Saboba Casino was not my idea. It was kind of a place that me and my cousin would go to pick up on drunk girls at the time. And it was kind of like our hangout spot.
Not a nice place.
I wish I could have took you somewhere nicer than Saboba Casino, but it was short notice. I didn't know you were coming that day. It was supposed to be that weekend.
He's such a liar.
And
how do you not know I was coming that day?
Well, I did like 2 hours before, and I was like, what are we going to do? It's freaking Wednesday.
I don't know. He was off his game, and I was glad to know that he didn't look like Ronnie from the Jersey Shore.
Was I off
Ronnie had a great body, okay?
Oh, you were a Jersey Shore fan, though.
Yeah.
Obsessed.
Yeah, I was, but I wasn't a fan of the fake orange skin. Okay?
This girl...
And the weird spaghetti strap shirts. And when I met him, it was like he was shopping at Baby Gap. I'm like, boy, let's go to the store, get you some shirts that actually fit you, that don't hug underneath your armpit, and let's wear some big kid clothes, okay?
Honestly,
let's try this out.
This child who was 21 at the time, okay? This child, okay? I was a mature adult, okay? This child was in love with the Jersey Shore. She had a giant crush on James Lafferty, who I went to high school from One Tree Hill. Yeah. And when I told her that I knew him, she freaked out and was like, ah! Like, wanna, like, you know what I mean? Like, so you were, I don't know, you were about it. And you were like, so you love Jersey Shore, so I don't know why you didn't like the way I was dressed.
I had to do some heavy Facebook stalking to make sure that he looked like a normal person. That I was actually going on a date with someone that wasn't some cholo from Hemet. So I was relieved when I walked in the door and found out that he wasn't.
I am a quarter Mexican.
But this is not what he used to look and dress like. This is Korean influence right here.
Jiu Jitsu shirt and backwards hat. I've been wearing that since the beginning of time. Did you know I was such a crazy sports fanatic? I told you I like sports, but did you think it was going to be as crazy as it is now?
No, and honestly, I used to love sports, and Matt Vega has ruined that for me. I officially despise sports and cannot handle sports anymore because he is so overwhelming with sports. And the moment that I knew that I was in trouble, but it was too late because I already loved him, was when he had a Bulls game that he had to watch. And I come home from, I think, college. I was in class, and I came home, and this guy had a chair in front of the TV with a, what was it, like a Bulls jacket draped over it. No one sitting in the chair, just a chair just for the jacket, draped over it. Because that was his, what is that?
Good luck.
Your good luck. But what is that called? When,
it's a good luck charm.
I know, but it's called something else.
Superstition.
Yeah.
And
he was like pacing back and forth for the TV. And
we had been on a roll.
I remember being a little like, oh boy, I'm in trouble.
It was Derrick Rose.
I have an addict.
It was the year Derrick Rose got injured. Okay, it was the year, but before that, we had the best record in the NBA. We were on fire. It was good luck to have that like that, and I had that at my house.
It was embarrassing.
And so when I went to watch the game at her house, hey, of course, I had to. I mean,
it was embarrassing.
We were the reason the Bulls were winning. It wasn't because of the team.
I actually think I have it on video of him pacing back and forth, like literally stressed out. Like,
yeah,
I don't even know how to explain it. So stressed out, like pacing back and forth over this game. It was like, whoa, this is real life.
I told you that
this is what I'm gonna have to deal with forever.
Yeah.
But it was too late. I loved him.
I told you I was obsessed with sports.
But I used to be a girl who actually liked sports. I used to go watch sports and do all those things. But now, it's
you classic
overwhelming that I don't even care.
Let's talk about some of your ex-boyfriends.
Oh boy.
They always kind of went for the jocks, right?
Yeah.
And
and
they, swimmers though. Okay, let's.
Swimmers have great bodies, guys.
Hey,
swimming is a great sport. It works every muscle in your body. Okay, don't be hating.
Swimmers, first of all, okay.
And they're tan.
And okay, I get that. Okay, so let's.
It's a great package.
I'm not saying it's not a legit sport because it is, but if you've been to high school, you know how they are. Okay, swimmers, guys. All right, so. You dated guys, you would go to sporting events with them, and you were the classic girlfriend where whatever team they liked, you liked. And when I first met her, she said I was a Lakers fan, which drew me crazy.
Oh my God, that's so true.
She's like, I like the Lakers, and I like Pau Gasol. And I'm like, what?
He was a good player, though. He was very good and entertaining.
I was like, oh, this is not happening. But we changed that. Since then, I've converted her to being a Yankee fan, which we go to Yankee games.
But Yankees has nothing to do with Lakers. You didn't convert me to a Bulls fan.
Not yet. Well, yeah, kinda. You just don't watch sports anymore. So as long as you're not a basketball fan.
I did like, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now because he doesn't play anymore. The one I bought your jersey for.
Derrick Rose.
Yeah, Rose. I want to call him Ross.
He still plays. He's just not on the Bulls anymore.
Yeah, he was a good player and entertaining to watch. But yeah, I have been converted to the Yankees. The Yankees are a legit team. For a couple of reasons. One, I love that they're just classic baseball. They date back so far with like the classics. And
I got you in
I loved me some Didi, but we don't have Didi anymore.
Didi Gregorius.
He was very entertaining to watch. That man always hit the ball, always got on base. He was entertaining. All those other men who just stand there and always strike out is so annoying. We want to see the ball hit. We want to see you on the base. Entertaining.
We
gotta trade him.
Since I was 3 years old, I've been watching wrestling, WWF, the WCW, the WWF, the WWE, all the wrestling I can watch. It's just something, guilty pleasure that I do. And so when you meet a girl for the first time, you're like, oh my God, I gotta show her that I like wrestling, which people say that's the fake stuff. But as long as it's combat of any kind, I'm kind of infatuated with, whether it's MMA or anything, even if it's fake, even if it's movies, like I like that kind of stuff. And when I showed her that I liked wrestling, and then she, like a good girlfriend, she started liking wrestling too.
Well, you can thank the Bellas for that.
Yeah, she watched the Total Bellas.
Nikki Bella was literally my idol for the longest time. She's gorgeous. Okay, and she was actually a really good wrestler.
Kinda.
She's way better. She's way better than the girls now.
There is no such thing.
On there now they are clearly
there's no such
her.
thing as a girls wrestler. There's like a good girls wrestler. Like, and here's another question.
She's better than some of the chicks
Another
today.
question that we got for you from one of the trolls, Matt. He wanted to know, how do you feel about me being so anti-women in sports?
It depends. I kind of agree.
And I'm not. Hey, first of all, I'm not
anti-women in sports. I believe that we can do anything we want to do, whoever we are. But we do have limitations, unfortunately, as women, and that's just the truth.
I'm not anti-women in sports either.
Because we don't have testosterone. Testosterone is like awesome, and it gives you guys a leg up, period. And when it comes to women's wrestling, the women,
it's not as good.
I literally cringe today because it's so embarrassing. Like, I almost feel like they're my friends and like I'm embarrassed watching them or something because their acting is so bad. The way they sell moves is horrible. And then their agility is just like really slow. And I don't know, the men, they're just like better, you know, because they're stronger. They have the testosterone to throw the men further and harder down the ground. They have, you know, they can leap off the rope a lot better. And the girls, I can't stand their screaming that they do with each other.
And guys were like,
that's just really annoying. It's just like really over the top.
Guys on the channel like, oh, on the page, oh, you just hate on women's sports. You have a daughter. How does it? What? I'm like, look at guys. I like women's sports, and I believe there's a place for it, and there should be professionals in all women's sports. But if I'm spending my money watching something, I want to watch the best thing that my eyes can see. And right now, women are just not par with men.
Okay. I think the reason why women aren't par with men is because the only really women's sport there is right now is like UFC or WWE. If you put a woman out there playing baseball, she would probably do really well. Because look at us, we can play really good softball. But you are criticizing a sport where you have to, it's human nature not to want to get hit. We don't want to get hit as humans. Okay, who wants pain? We don't like pain. So as a woman too, we gotta watch our face. Okay, so when you're in UFC and you're just dancing around with your little fists up, maybe if you're smart enough to keep your fists up, it's boring because you're just dancing the whole time because there's that fear factor of not wanting to get hurt or like to avoid pain because that's just natural.
You're 100%.
Men though, they have more testosterone to where they don't care. They'll just go in there. So yeah, put some women in the baseball and let's criticize. Well, we do. We have that. We have softball and they're awesome. And then soccer, they're badass.
Right, like I was saying.
So I would say that you criticize women's sports
depending on the sport.
With WWE and UFC.
Depending on the sport, right? So
and that's the same thing that I criticize.
Like when
boring.
I watch the Olympics. And I'm watching women in track or women on the floor routine or women swimmers. That's exciting to watch.
Yeah, because they're badass.
But
when it comes to a contact sport like that, it's a little, we just don't have that type of mentality to want to like really hurt people.
And there are good women jiu-jitsu people and good women fighters and stuff like that.
But again, it's different. It's a different type of contact.
But on average, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So you'll get like out of every like 7 out of 8 dudes that are physical and aggressive, maybe like 2 out of 10 girls like that. So
like I said, we don't have that testosterone. We're not trying to go out there and kill people, you know? So I think that's why women kind of fail in the UFC, WWE sports.
Bronson want to know what your thoughts are of jiu-jitsu.
Oh my God.
Now your
this
boy
is either going to gain you some good points or some negative points.
I've been training in jiu-jitsu, like everybody knows, for like 14 years.
Bronson knows. I gave him the warning when he called, and I said, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Lindsay, no, Bronson, what you're getting yourself into. I don't think she knows.
Now, yeah, I've had my share of injuries. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows that, but it's something I love to do. I've been doing it. She's been around since I've been a blue belt, or was it? White belt, huh?
Honestly, I don't know.
And I got my blue belt. You were there when I got my blue belt. So
I guess you can say that I'm kind of, I don't know, maybe not the best wife when it comes to this, but I do support him in his jiu-jitsu. However, when I first met him, it was like jiu-jitsu or nothing, and that really annoyed the hell out of me. Okay, because he kept talking like that was his family and he needed to ditch me. And our little family that we were starting, and that was my tip with jiu-jitsu. However, things have changed and it's not that way anymore. So now I don't despise jiu-jitsu as much, but as a wife, it took him away from a lot of things, so I was resentful.
Jiu-jitsu is an hour, babe. It's an hour.
Okay, no. Mm-mm.
It's an hour.
This guy says, hey, I'm going to practice. It's like, okay, see you in 4 hours. See you in 4 hours. Where you been?
Literally.
What do you do there for 4 hours?
Well,
he thinks it's only an hour. It's not only an hour. It's 4 hours. And it's always in the morning. And guess who has to do all the chores and the dishes and everything else? This guy gets out of all that.
I'm very thankful.
Oh, and the times are always during dinner. What's up with that? It's dinner time.
Because people are out of work.
Do it after dinner when we all go to bed or something.
Cool.
No, but I do support jiu-jitsu, and it's a good sport. One day, I'm sure our children will be in it. It teaches good things, good discipline. Honestly, it was just him in the beginning and his fascination with it that probably made it a little sour for me. And then all the injuries as well. But again, that's on him for not taking care of himself. It's important that you take care of yourself. And he's one of those people that he will keep practicing through an injury when you need to let your injuries heal.
Yeah, well, you just got to keep going. Let's talk about, we just got back from vacation, Tennessee.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you right now, Tennessee is beautiful. But it's a little slow pace for us.
I feel like I keep shaking my head on this. Yeah, Tennessee.
It's beautiful.
Is a beautiful place. The end. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, and I have teammates that have went to Tennessee, but maybe because of COVID, it's not what it was.
No. I've been in Tennessee 5 times in my life, you guys, and it's a beautiful place, and it's meant for a certain type of person. If you want a small town feel, you want to get away from activities and outdoor things, and you want to live in a small town where it takes you 2 hours to get to the grocery store because you got that kind of time, go for it. Go to Tennessee. But if you like things that are easy access, if you have kids, if you're active outdoors or eat healthy, good luck. You will not have a nightlife there unless you live in actual Nashville, and there's nothing active to do. You can't even walk. There's no sidewalks.
No sidewalks. No center divider.
And it's green because guess what? It rains a lot, but it's also cloudy a lot.
It's
not
everybody's like the barbecue. Let me tell you this, the barbecue isn't it's good. They have good barbecue, but it's not 10 times better than the barbecue you can get here.
I tell you what, I could go there and open a restaurant, I'd be a millionaire. And that would be on Mexican food or barbecue. The cooking out there is semi-homemade. I made some gravy by opening a can of Campbell's, and I poured it in a little gravy dish, and I served it over your mashed potatoes, and I called you honey while I served it, and then all of a sudden it's homemade. That's how it is there. No, there's nothing homemade about it. It's like cafeteria food. It's the weirdest thing.
You can have a badass house with a lot of land in Tennessee.
In the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere. But
you want to live somewhere with houses like here in California, you're paying the same price. You're paying the same price with no sidewalks, no street lights, and nothing to do.
And you can have a Lamborghini, but Lamborghinis aren't fun driving in the sticks.
Let me just say something too, is that what people don't realize when they want to move out of state is you get what you pay for. So in California, you pay for a lot, you get a lot. You get those sidewalks. You get lots of parks for your children. You get easy amenities that are easy accessible, easy access to freeways, cool parks, like the beach, the mountains, you get everything. You don't get that in Tennessee because why? You're not paying state taxes, so you get less because you're not paying for it. Where are they going to get that money? Where? If they're not getting it from you. So that's why in California, a good perspective is that you get what you pay for. At least your money is going somewhere, and it's making it easier and kind of a more fun life. If you're older and ready to retire, go to Tennessee, settle down, get away from the traffic, and you don't need all those things anymore. Your kids are grown, they have their own families, I get it. But when you're young and you have a lot of things that you want to do with your life, I really don't see the reason for moving there. I really don't, unless it's the kind of lifestyle that you want. It just isn't the lifestyle for me. So I'm not really hating on Tennessee. It's just really different. It's a different type of culture, a different way of living. And
I think
it's just not the kind of way I want to live.
I think it would be a place I would want to go if like I knew like I was done being physically active and I was just
When can you be done being physically active?
Exactly.
You can never be done being physically active.
And like I said, there's guys who have schools and stuff there, but it's just not the same. It's not the same.
It's a time warp. It's like you literally go back in time.
We were seeing
upgraded.
like 96 expeditions and
nothing's upgraded.
old Ford Focuses. I'm like, where
I'm not
are
joking. You go to a restaurant and it's like going to a cafeteria. I'm not joking. It's like, it's for sure a cafeteria. You go up to a little lady serving you stuff from a hotline, and she puts on your dish what there is. Okay? And it's a beautiful time warp. It's so cool with like the history and the cool old buildings. Like it's really cool to like experience that. But you need some modern somewhere, and I guess I'm just more modern. My dad gets mad because he's like, what happened to the country girl? You know? Just because I ride horses and had horses my whole life doesn't mean I don't like the modern things either, and I don't like the beach.
The Vegas ain't ready for Mayberry.
No.
We're not. No. It's like literally like
it's a great
20-minute drive for Starbucks. And then sometimes the Starbucks not even open. Sometimes it's just closed.
Yeah, they close early. Things are only open in the summer. Go there, go to Nashville, explore it. Nashville is really cool downtown. He hasn't seen downtown yet.
I haven't.
It's really cool. I went out there when I was younger.
Well, we'll be going a lot.
But to live there, it's just not for us.
We got family there. We'll be visiting all the time, but not a place where I think we'd want to move right now. Let's talk about. Okay, so me, 6'1", if you count the top of the egghead here, 250 plus pounds. And when we're talking about Hollywood guys that you like in Hollywood, and like say, is there like a hall pass? If you could like hook up with any guy that's in Hollywood and we had a pass, and I've always said there's no hot females in Hollywood, and it's kind of unfair, and you just go rambling off like 15 dudes that you would bang, and they think, oh yeah, he's hot, he's this, he's that. And they're all small. All little guys, they're nothing like me.
That's not true.
This is true. 100%.
100%. What do you want me to say about that?
Tell me the guys. Tell me the guys that you get a free night with. Let's name them. Top 3.
The first guy that comes to mind is Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf looks like he needs a shower.
And Shia LaBeouf, and the reason why it's him, and honestly, he doesn't even have that.
He's your number 1 right now?
I don't know. There's something about him that's just sexy.
After seeing that movie that we just saw?
Sometimes girls just want a man to take charge and just take it. You know what I mean? And Shia LaBeouf is that man. He's that man. He don't care about your feelings. He don't want to make love. He wants to get it done. And sometimes girls just want that. Or ladies. Because I'm not a girl anymore. I'm a lady. No, but seriously.
One day
I don't know. There's just something, the dirty of him is just sexy. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Like Chris Pratt, he's hot, but he doesn't seem like that. He seems like the one that will like wine and dine you.
Shia LaBeouf
wants to marry you and take you home to mama.
Shia LaBeouf is legit 5'7", 100 and like,
he's hot though.
150 pounds.
He's literally hot.
A little guy.
I'm pretty sure you can count the squares in his stomach.
Okay. Yeah, abs never been my strong point.
As long as you're not a scrawn. That's all.
He's a scrawn!
He's not a scrawn. Just because of his weight, he has muscle definition. He's not scrawny to where he's like a string bean.
You're telling me if you're in a dark alley in the middle of the night and you're walking to your car and Shia LaBeouf's on you, you're like, I got this, we'll be safe. And you're going to feel safe with Shia LaBeouf?
I won't be walking down a dark street with Shia LaBeouf because he's a millionaire and I'd probably be in his Lamborghini.
Oh, fair point.
And he probably has bodyguards.
Who else?
Okay, well, there's Shia LaBeouf, Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt
is like 6 foot, I think. So
he's more comparable. Yeah, he's the perfect size. Honestly, he's not too much and he's not too little. Whereas like someone like John Cena, he's too much. Sorry. Whether you're big muscle or big fat, you're still big. Okay, and that comes with some disabilities, like being able to move around quickly, or not sweat in bed, or ruin the couch from sitting on it too long because you're so heavy.
Laying on top of you and just being like crushed.
Yeah. So Guys, just so you know, girls, we don't like it too. I mean, some girls do, but most girls we don't like it too big either way. Whether it's adipose tissue or muscle, either way, you're too big.
Can't play the scare game though. We had a scare game, me and you. Where I would just scare you, hide and scare you, scare you. Well,
you? What do you mean? This guy gets scared.
Jumping.
I scare him more, just so you all know. But I never get on camera. So.
Yeah, but I'm always on my phone. Okay.
Yeah, you have an addiction. But anyway, keep going.
But anyways, I won the game. It's over.
It's not over.
It's over. We watched, what was the show on Netflix? It's on there now. It's like
After Death or something?
After Death, and they kind of teach you things. It's like, oh, I talked to God, and it's like people who
you
die.
can't do these people's near-death experiences where like they go to heaven and they saw Jesus and they came back down. No.
So
it's actually about mediums, which I've gone to plenty of mediums, so we could talk about that if we ever wanted to. But it's about physical mediums, and what they do is they take on the physical form of the spirit. So they chain themselves down in like this weird room, and the spirit comes into their body, and then they start talking like all creepy, you know. I don't want to try to talk that way; it's like embarrassing. And so I'm sitting there watching it at night, all freaked out, you know what I mean? And I'm like, keep wanting to know more. And a lady starts talking in this creepy, weird, like man demon voice. And I'm like, oh hell! And I turn off the TV. And so I'm like, let's go to bed. Like I'm scared. Like you have to come to bed with me.
I kind of fell asleep.
But I'm thirsty, so I always need to go to bed with my water. So I'm like, please come to like wait for me in the kitchen. Let me get my water.
And this is okay. So she stays here. Okay, so she's just drinking her water. Okay, and I'm here.
This guy.
And all I do.
I swear to God.
All I do.
He just hunches over.
I just stand. It's in the dark, and I'm just standing like this. That's all I do. Like this. And she turns. And screams. Okay, kid's sleeping.
I probably woke up.
Just.
Okay, it felt like his face was right here next to my face.
Crumbles.
And he looked like the creepy demon person that I saw on the thing.
Crumbles, and it made me feel so bad. Where I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then I was like, well, now we can't play this fucking game anymore. So she.
I literally started crying because he was like all he looked like a little demon, like all hunched over, and he looked like he was like right here. And after I just saw that lady like transform into some like demon creature, I swear he looked just like it. So yeah, I woke up the neighbors that night with the wrong kind of scream.
We can't play the scare game no more, even though it's fun. We like to scare each other. We even got the kid in. She likes to scare.
Yeah, we still scare each other though. We still do. But that one was harsh. I did cry.
Last note I got here: hairy guys. Like I'm not a hairy guy. I can't grow facial hair. It's patchy. Like I had shaved 2 weeks ago. This is what we get. Like I'm not. And we're driving here. She's like, we could talk about how hairy guys are hot. And I like me a hairy man.
Guys are hot.
I like me a hairy man. I'm sitting here driving like.
We don't want to look like a monkey.
I'm like, okay. I am not hairy.
When we're gripping your back, we don't want to grab like fistfuls of hair. But a little bit of hair on the chest is a little sexy. It is. There's nothing worse than laying on your man's chest and getting microneedling treatment. And if you don't know what that is, look it up. It's little needles that prick your face and it's supposed to make your collagen look great. Yeah. That's what it's like when you lay on the chest of a man who shaves his chest.
I don't shave my chest. It's just
grow a little bit of hair. Let us grab a little bit of hair. It's hot.
Hey, look at the reason I do shave my chest from time to time isn't because I'm trying to be cute or trying to be pretty. It's because when I'm training, I'm not trying to put the hairy fuzz in some other dude's nose when I'm rolling with them. It's a courtesy thing.
Just don't grow hair on the lower of your back.
You can't choose. You can't choose. We were watching
this one show,
Outlander,
and there's like this.
And she was like, "Oh my God, sex scene. Maybe we'll see some dick."
Okay, but first off, you can't get into a sex scene if the people are ugly. Sorry, it's just the way it is. This guy was not cute, so I wouldn't.
And I was like, he's got fucking pubes on his lower back.
And he literally had like a little carpet on like where you put a tramp stamp. He had a little carpet there, and it was like the camera lighting was just right. And it was like showing through like the like fibers of his little curly thing. And I was like, oh hell no! Now that is ugly hairy. We like a little bit of hair like up in here, no hair back here. You know.
When we get older, you get hair. You get hair on your back when you get older. That's just the way it is. But yeah, what about getting you in Jiu Jitsu?
That one.
Get you in the gi. Get you in there rolling. You just don't like the sweat?
No, I sweat.
No, you don't like rolling around in a sweaty guy? Like sweating like another girl or
Why would
guy?
you want to do that?
It's protection.
No. My dad taught me no protection. No, I would never do Jiu Jitsu.
But
Ever.
the kid.
The thought of having someone's elbows in my face or getting weird cauliflower ear, and I don't want to say it, but like chesty women, it ain't for you. I don't need no one's elbow in my chest. That doesn't feel great.
Why are you so crazy about the chesty? Like, you're chesty. Be proud of it. There's not been one guy in the world. There's not been one guy in the
Because
history
when you
of the
have-
world.
When you have a big chest, it makes you look fatter than you really are. Okay, and this is like for the women watching.
There
the show.
hasn't been. We have like 2.
Men probably don't care about this.
There hasn't been one guy in the world that was like, man, boobs are too big. Never in the history of the human race have they been like, man, I can't. Man. Those boobs are just too big for
That's
me.
because you guys don't know what it's like, okay? When they're too big, they're flying around. It's like they have their own little life or something. So yeah, no, I ain't gonna be laying on my back, having them flop around and being their own, blowing in the wind while I'm trying to do jiu-jitsu. It's not gonna happen.
There you go. No jiu-jitsu for Mrs. Vega.
No. it'll
But
never happen.
my kid, yes. When she's of age where I feel it's necessary,
Sure, if she wants to.
she will. Anyway, thanks for being on the show. First episode
It's about time.
of OpenMatt on the Sports Trolls YouTube. If you want to be a guest on here and come talk and just talk about whatever the heck you want to talk about, I don't care. Let me know. Comment on either on the group page, Sports Trolls group page, Sports Trolls Facebook page. Text me if you know me, get you on the show. Just talk about whatever you want to talk about. Have fun. So we're gonna have you on again. You were a little nervous at the beginning, but you got kind of nervous and then just took over.
I'm not really nervous. I
You just
felt
took over
silly.
like you're just like, okay guys, hello. Like just like a natural. So, but like I've said this, she's pretty good at everything that she does, and it kind of makes me mad. But anyways,
Sorry.
yeah. So if you want to be a guest, just let me know. We'll get you on here and talk. This weekend, the big man will be back Sunday. He said we are podcasting Sunday, so Sports Trolls podcast, full of sports, talking UFC. Break down the Ngannou fight versus Stipe's this Saturday. We can recap that. We can talk about baseball coming up. Opening day is next Thursday. We got a lot to talk about, so we can get more into that. Upload that to Spotify, Castbox, Anchor, all that good stuff. If you're looking for merchandise, badboymma.com, save 10%. Use Sports Trolls 10 as your promo code, and that's pretty much all we got. Catch you guys later.
Bye.
See ya.